Welcome everyone to the rinks in Hauppauge for the freshman quarterfinals in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. It's East Islip, the #1 team, taking on Middle Country to kick things off in the playoffs. A great way to get things going. East Islip, they have been dominant all year. Coming into this series, or coming into the playoffs. Not quite a series just yet, but the finals, of course, will be a series. 18-0-2. They still have yet to take a loss on the year. And as they're making an initial save, we'll get a pause at the 14:34 mark. Dominic Graziano will get the start on the other side of the rink. Derek Johnson and Evan Connors, the leading goal scorers for both of these teams. As East Islip will race forward, Fowler slowed down in the transition. Taken down low by Middle Country, now they'll break it out. Here comes Johnson on the attack. Dicing it up across the blue line. Johnson weaves middle and pulls up. Looking for the turnaround shot, missed it wide. Johnson, you can see why he leads his team with 25 goals. Also one of the best goal scorers in the freshman division as well. Puck entered in. Looped up to the near point. Cougars will hold it alive, scaling it down the wall. Opportunity to send it out in front, but the Chiefs rallied to the puck with multiple bodies. Pass back to the point. Good possession for Middle Country to start off the game. Meyer with a stick check. He'll lift the puck away, but not able to slide it across the blue line. There is a broken twig somewhere out. Azer had to paddle that puck away. East Islip with 3 extra skaters today, but both teams with about their full rosters available for them. Conlon looking for a pass, intercepted by Barbarito. Tried to get things going over to Connors. Evan Connors lifted off of his stick and sent all the way down. D-to-D pass, Barbarito looks ahead instantly. Got it over to Connors again, almost had a step across. Quick reset for East Islip. Puck rotated back to Barbarito. Conlon stepped up on it. Pops free. Maresca. Barbarito now Walsh. Looking ahead to Connors. Got it onto his tape. Evan Connors shimmying down the right side. He has some room. Rips a shot save made. Another loose stick in front. Walsh will chase after the puck. Hands it off. More room for East Islip, but a vacant near point might be dangerous if the puck comes up. 3 minutes gone by in the first period. Good interception from Walsh. He'll loop around, drives, net front lifted off his stick. Reyes got back in time in order to shut down the opportunity. Walsh on another wraparound. Couldn't find the centering feed. Over to Clark on the far wall. Back down for Walsh. He'll spin it to the near side. Fired up and out. East Islip will reset in their own zone. Potential takeaway here. Dylan DiChiero to the front of the net. A shot, rebound, still loose. Johnson has it now. Puck slides up to the blue line. Johnson chases after it. Challenged by Stroud. Missed the shot wide right, but what a wrister from Johnson. Clock will pause with 11:12 left in the first period. Johnson, one of those guys where you can just look at him play another turnaround shot, and you can just imagine him playing at the varsity level for the Cougars next year. Not a lot of people can make the jump from freshman to the VAR, but he definitely could, as that puck will be iced out. Goes back down to the left side. Madison DiChiero also here today for Middle Country. So Johnson does have his partner in crime, both of those players towards the top of the point production for Middle Country. Madison getting it done from the blue line. Johnson getting it done as a center. Reyes trying to get it towards the front of the net. It's on the goal line, but didn't go in. East Islip avoid an early deficit. Now back in transition. Straub trying to bury it at a head. Van Steen had it lifted away from his stick, and Johnson will race to the left side 2-on-2. Everyone on sides. Johnston Arisser missed it wide to the right. Johnson with it again, left wing, gives it up. Madison walks it down, looks for a tip, it's in! Madison DiChiero, a knuckle puck to the front of the net. She'll find the 1-0 lead for Middle Country. One nothing the lead now for the Cougars. Madison will get the goal credit as well. Opportunity off the big rebound, puck poked back in front. East Islip try to rally forward. Another save made by Graziano. And the puck will be held now. 9:40 left to play in the first. Puck popped around a couple of times and dumped in. Jonathan Moringer going to pick up an assist on Madison's goal. Johnson right back on the ice. Gets around Fowler, a wrist shot. Puck back to the front of the net. East Islip find it and play it away. Johnson once again on his horse. He's burning. Johnson. He's going to pull up. Turn around, feed it back door. Almost got it for Dylan. Back past the defensive core. Caliendo. Madison DiChiero. Gives it back up to Johnson. Johnson, a wrister looking for the top right corner. Big hop off the end boards. East Islip will pick it up happily. Johnson back on the defensive end. Madison below the goal line. Madison and her brother Dylan both playing for this team. Important players. Is that puck not going to go in? It was tipped at the front but didn't go through. Connors with it against Johnson, trying to get it away from him. Those two will do battle in the corner. Helped out by Luca Reyes. And now an opportunity for Middle Country to get it up and out, still with a 1-0 lead. And that puck will be iced with 7:28 remaining in the first. Off the face-off, the puck will go bounding towards the blue line. Held in by Middle Country. They try to find the centering feet. Comes back over to Reyes, a hard time with it. Mazzarone now with an opportunity. Rushing back to the right side. Mazzarone open on the hands, but missed the shot wide. The follow-up zipped off the end. Plenty of space in this game. Very, very quick. You wouldn't imagine it's a freshman game by how fast all of these players are. Mazzarone, a wrister from the front of the net. Banked off the end boards. Mazzarone will get it right back. Another wrister down low. Save made. Lazzarino. A D-to-D pass. Up to the blue line. Mazzarone. Rory Straub. Open room, Johnson, he's going to have a one-on-one, in on net, the shot goes high. Big rebound off the end boards, covered up by Lazzarino. He'll give it over to Connors, flying up the right side. Connors ahead, Walsh, one move, but it was poked off his stick. Good defense coming out for Middle Country. Myers back with it now, looking for Connors. Eventually worked over to him. Connors burns by Johnson. Johnson getting on the back check and does lift it off the stick of Connors. I have a feeling those two are going to find each other on the ice a lot like they are right now. Johnson against Connors again. The puck battle held alive by Johnson. Over to Barbarito, and he fired it out of the zone. 5:30 to play in the opening period. 1-0 the score in favor of Middle Country, thanks to Madison DiChiaro. And that puck will deflect out of play. Barbarito gets the first touch off the wall. Rotated around. Madison holding it alive and will flip it back over towards the corner. Middle Country will work there. Good denial on the centering feed from Barbarito. Johnson spins away from Walsh. Johnson trying to get through Connors as well. Johnson fires low and wide. Outlet pass. Connors holding it in. Fighting against Madison. Madison, a good move. She'll start to fly ahead. Hill with her. Everyone on sides. Madison DiChiaro looking for the centering feed and pushed into the end boards by Walsh. Moringer over to Madison, scanning for our options. Flips it ahead and dumped in now. Won't be an icing as it was tipped en route. Middle Country, they came playing their A game today against East Islip. The #1 seed, Conlon, a wrister, blocked by Fowler. Straub getting it ahead. Excuse me, that was Van Steen getting it ahead. Regardless, taken back by Middle Country. Puck comes out in front for a quick shot. An important save there for East Islip. Waller forcing it in. Sends it over for Van Steen, intercepted by Middle Country. Not out of the zone just yet. An important for Reyes to get that over to the corner. Lazzarino at the far point, bumped off the puck. He'll skate back forward in the neutral zone. Lazzarino turns around, fires it low, and it will be covered up for another whistle. Off the face-off, East Islip will hold it in. To Chiaro, wrestled down. Johnson comes in to help her out. Johnson still holding on to it. Looking for another rush. Steps wide around Meyer. Johnson fires above the crossbar again. Madison at the far point to hold it in. Giving it back over to Johnson. Hopped his stick. Chance for East Islip to win it back. Meyer at the goal line. Sends it ahead. Johnson looking to go middle. Lazzarino a hit. Got it over to Mazzarone. Intercepted by Madison to Chiaro. To Chiaro. Now getting herself open. To Chiaro across the blue line. A shot save made. Barbarito on the rebound. Spiked it back over to Madison. She'll play it over to the left circle for a shot save made again. Sister to brother, and they almost had the combination of the goal. Johnson back into his own end. He'll build speed, flying through the neutral zone. Past 3 already. Johnson 1 foot in across the blue line. Levels out. Has Madison. He'll shoot himself. Rebound in the slot. Chiaro. Over to her brother Dylan. Dylan giving back to the defense. Forecheck already applied by East Islip, pressuring with $1:35 left on the first period clock. Connors turns, fires, glove save. Walsh off the draw, trying to get it over to Connors. Walsh to Connors at the goal line, sends it middle, scramble. 1 out by Graziano. Walsh over to Connors in the corner again. This time 1 out by Johnson. Trying to sidestep around Fowler, had some trouble. Liam McCarthy will dump it in, go to work. Played right back out now, Walsh has it, leading the attack. Stick lifted from behind, good reset for Middle Country. 50 seconds remain in the first period. 1-0 in favor of the Cougars. Walsh, below the goal line, he's flying. Tiptoeing his way around the checks, gives it over to Connors. Back to Walsh for the shot. Walled off in front of him. Held alive by Mathers. That one deflected. On the doorstep, it won't go. Centering feed again. Reyes has it. Up to Lazzarino. A drop pass. Mathers. One more pass over. Connors walks it down. It hit the bar but didn't go in. Another opportunity, and this time Graziano will get it into the glove. East Islip just inches away from a game-tying goal. Walsh will step in for the face-off at the end of the period. Trying to win it against Johnson up to the blue line. Clark will pitch it over to the corner. Fowler with it now. Ridden hard into the boards. Walsh gets it. Walsh centers over to Lazzarino. 6 seconds on the clock. Lazzarino turns, still taking his time. 2 seconds left. The centering feed is late, and 15 minutes will expire. 1-0 the score. Middle Country on top. Back for the start of the second period here on the LI Sports Network. 1-0 the score in favor of Middle Country. Trying to find the upset is what I would say is probably the most dangerous 8 seed I have ever seen here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League, including all levels. This game is not going to be a free one for East Islip. Fowler on the shot, didn't get a lot of it. Another centering feed, missed wide over to the left. Fowler holding it, loops it back around. Now a chance for Johnson to skate. Dylan off to his left hip. Johnson will drive, feeding it middle, interrupted by East Islip. Dylan gets back to it, a turnaround shot. No one was there for the rebound. East Islip battling on the near point. Held alive in the skates of Johnson. He takes a shove into the wall. Lazzarino gliding up the ice, dumps it in. Fowler. To Chiaro trying to block the centering feed. Had some help from her brother Dylan. Up for Constantinos, got it ahead, Johnson. Johnson over to Madison, 2-on-1 across the blue line. Madison turns, gets free, fires down low, but a save made. Chiaro stepping back into the action, holding it alive on the near wall. McCarthy up to Madison, a wrister looking for a deflection from Conlon, and I believe that's going to be touched with a high stick. So we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. All right, no, so we'll move all the way down to the opposite end. Connors will glide over to the middle, poked off his stick. Middle Country back the other way. McCarthy drops Conlon. Gets wide on Barbarito, but pushed into the boards. Good defensive play. Couple minutes gone by here in the second period. Chances have belonged primarily to Middle Country. We'll give it back to the blue line for a one-timer. Went wide. Chance to rush. Here comes Connors angling away. Connors tripped up from behind by Reyes. That's going to be a penalty. Reyes will go on to the box for 2. Puck sent all the way down. East Islip trying to make the most of their time. A long stretch pass. Walsh has to race to it. Chiaro beat him to the spot, lifted it up the wall to Lazzarino, challenged again. Wobbling back over to Walsh, turned around and missed it off to the right post. Now Barbarito against Madison, helped out by Johnson. Madison clearing, Connors caught it up over to Lazzarino, a shot glove save. And an excellent one at that. Lazzarino over to Walsh into the right dot. Back over to Lazzarino, quarterbacking the power play. On the backhand, lifts it to Connors. He'll drive towards the middle, feeding it. Opportunity, Walsh, he scores! The Chiefs cash in on the power play. 1-1. Puck will go down to the defensive end for Middle Country. EI finding the stabilizer. Alex Walsh will get the goal. Vanstein off the face-off. Johnson pushed down to the ice. It slides over. Now Reyes has an opportunity to clear and will skip it out of the zone. Back to Reyes again on the backhander. Once again, forcing it past the blue paint. And this time, an offsides called against East Islip. So we'll take the face-off in the neutral zone. East Islip, statistically the superior team. 7.4 goals per game, 1.6 goals against. Middle Country, 5.3 goals per game, 5.4 goals against. But again, sometimes you got to remember, especially here at the freshman level, Middle Country not going to have their entire team available on any given night. East Islip, that's where their extra depth and their bigger roster just by a number size helps them out so much. So they can have a little bit better consistency than some of the other teams here at the freshman level. Now, that's not to discredit their success, because inside of that big roster or a lot of amazing hockey players, and here come two of them on a 2-on-1 down the ice, angling off to the left side. Fowler turns back towards the middle. Vanstein lost it in his skates, and here comes Dylan to scoop it up and skate it out. Dylan charging. He'll take this shot. Lazzarino trying to pin him into the corner now. 5 bodies all there. East Islip will take it back and sail it out of the zone. Taking a look at the head-to-head, East Islip with an 11-3 victory on February 25th and an 8-6 victory on September 27th. This the third meeting between these two squads. Lazzarino given plenty of space, but he wants passing options. He'll take a lap around. Lazzarino to Mazzarone. Mazzarone across the middle. Room for Meyer. A shot down low. Rebound pops up and saved by Graziano. Straub. Madison to Chiaro, push down. She'll get right back up. The Middle Country fans want a penalty, but they're not going to get one. Moringer trying to fire it out of the zone. It will be looped around back down low over to the left wing corner. To Chiaro. Again up the wall. Moringer giving it to the middle. They'll drop it. Madison over to Dylan. Dylan across the blue line. Back to Madison, almost in the front of the net. Mazzarone. Taken away by Dylan. Meyer. His head up ice, scanning for options. Straub trying to penetrate behind the defense. And that will go down for an icing instead. 8:26 remaining in the second period. We're almost halfway through this game. To Chiaro. Dillon pushing it ahead. Connors got it off for Clark. Back for Johnson. Connors trying to get it from behind. Back forward is Clark. Rimmed around Connors. Moringer quickly on his heels. Connors still with it. Walsh joining him at the blue line. Connors turns around, fires it low. And a push. Here comes Johnson. Shimmies ahead. Johnson, he'll loop around trying to shove it in on the far side. Johnson takes it back, fires. Puck still loose, a shot. Save made. Constantinos looking for the rebound with Moringer, and the whistle will be called. Moringer has an assist on the goal for Middle Country. Haven't seen any scoring since the East Islip power play. Fowler races this puck in, slides it out in front, still loose, sticks tie up, and back comes Conlon for the loose change. Up to the blue line and out. East Islip hold it in the neutral zone. Johnson trying for the home run pass, but couldn't connect it. Lazzarino, fancy feet around the blue line. Johnson takes it back and airmails it high. Conlon firing into the hips of Lazzarino. Middle Country will dump in. Mathers will go after it. Couple of passes ahead. And the puck will be forced out of play. Madison DeCiro. Challenged by two, taken away. Mazzarone firing it low. Graziano a save. Rebound in front. Straub couldn't get it over to the backhand. He'll spin it away from the pile and accidentally split the defense with his own pass. Meyer harassed from behind by McCarthy. McCarthy will take it and almost slid it in front. Middle Country looking dangerous in the transition game today. Shot, save made again by Graziano. Grayson Giametti on the near wall, taking ahead. Johnson. Batters past Mathers. Johnson challenged by two below the goal line. Has Hill coming in to help him out, as well as Constantinos. Johnson. Puck now through the feet of Hill. Here comes Fowler. Fowler a shot. Ricochets over to Hill. Fowler on the follow-up. Graziano another save. Giametti was able to get it off to the boards. Dumped in for Straub again. Straub looking over his left shoulder. Pulls up, challenged by Hill. Straub trying to spin back to his right side. Hill was there to greet him. Now double teamed against the boards. Johnson will take the puck away. Gave it over to Fowler. Fired it middle. Comes loose to Hill. On the backhand, he clears to the blue line. And Delp out as the puck was helped out by Giametti. 4 minutes remain in the second period. Moringer loads up the wrister. Save made. Rebound in front. Mazzarone takes it and gets it out of the zone. Puck will be iced with 3:51 remaining. Clark against Moringer. They pile two on him below the end line. Conlon turned it over. Clark, Moringer tried to get it back. A good feed. Barbarito was there for it. Turnaround shot. Barbarito blocked it again. DeChiaro loads up another shot. Opportunity in front of the net. Hazer was able to find it completely. .322 remaining in the second. Barbarito loops it. Connors. Connors ahead. Walsh. Walsh is going to break this into a 3-on-1. Madison the only one back, and a quick shot will be saved by Graziano. Walsh down low. Pushed by Moringer. Referees letting them play. DeChiaro turns, trying to get away from Walsh. DeChiaro knocking Walsh down to the ice. Centering feed, it's going to be missed wide left. Conlon, a wrister elevated into the netting. Long shot with a little bit of life to it. Sits in the slot before it's taken away by Fowler. Looked for Straub on the backdoor feed. Back behind the defense, that is. Dumped back in by Middle Country. Straub looking for Van Steen in the corner. Couple of bodies there. .150 remaining in the second period. Got a pile up on the near boards. No one giving up an inch. Popped into the air, still in play. Middle Country now getting a little bit of space to work with, and they'll clear it. Straub. Steps left, Straub has shot. Graziano parried it easily. Johnson with the delayed penalty. He'll drag the puck low, getting ready to burn with speed against Fowler. Cuts back to his left side. Johnson giving it over. Dillon stripped by Van Steen. And the power play will come in with 1:05 remaining in the second. Off the face-off, Clark will get it. Trouble with the clear. Connors gets it easily. To the center of the rink, Johnson across. To Kiro. Across the blue line, looking for the top right corner, gloved and covered up. Moringer on the face-off this time, up to Johnson, not out. Johnson, a big shot. Rebound in front of the net. Put back to the blue paint. It's loose, and Clark has it. Over to the corner. Clark up the boards. Another shot from Madison. Stopped up by the feet of Lazzarino. Sliding it over to Dillon. Pushes it back. Johnson fires, and it's lifted into the netting. One more face-off potentially in the period. Walsh gets a good win and gets it past Johnson all the way down the ice. Connors with one in front of him. Connors slides it through the middle, but none of his teammates were there. They were taking the safe defensive option. Middle country, drop pass, Johnson. He can burn with speed up the left side. Cuts over to the right. Johnson still going at the backhand, feeds Conlon for a shot, big rebound. Moringer was a step late. 1 second left in the period, and we'll end the second frame. Tied at 1 here on the LI Sports Network. .55 seconds left on the power play, 15 minutes left in regulation, and the quarterfinal matchup between East Islip and Middle Country. Connors couldn't get himself into a breakaway. Johnson will take it back, outlet over to Dillon. To Chiaro, almost got a rebound opportunity for Conlon. Madison has it now, scanning for options. She'll feed it over to Johnson in the high slot. Johnson moves left, taken down. Call from the referees. It's going to be a 5-on-3 for another 25 seconds. Moringer looking for the face-off, an important one, comes loose. Johnson will have the speed. Johnson fires high, save made, pops down. McCartney will hold the zone. Back up to Johnson, another wrister. Missed it above the crossbar. Moringer tied up by Lazzarino, trying to kill it in the corner. 3 seconds left in the 5-on-3. They'll get one out of the box quickly. A shot whistles above the crossbar. To Johnson at the near point. It will be Straub to challenge him. A spin move. Johnson Parries the couple of checks as well. Leaves it off Madison with room. Madison bringing it in. Shot, rebound. Couldn't get poked through. Another opportunity. Moringer there with McCartney and Conlon. Conlon with it now. Johnson open. Challenge. Slides it left. Madison with it again. Another wrister trying to get it through the legs of Barbarito, who blocked it and fired out of the zone. One minute to play in the next penalty. The Kiro gives it over to her brother, Dylan, ahead. Shot interrupted by Lazzarino, and that clear will do for East Islip. First couple of minutes gone by here in the third. Johnson will pirouette and take his time. Looking for the open Dylan. De Kiro cutting it down low, leaving it for his sister. Madison, a shot save made. Johnson blocks off the breakout. Big block in front. Barbarito, gritty, gets right back up. A shot, whistles wide to the left. Barbarito is digging deep right now. He's in some pain, but it doesn't matter. I've never seen this kind of grit coming out from kids at this age on both sides of the puck as well. Brady Campbell texted me earlier. He said he can feel the playoff atmosphere through the screen, and I 100% agree. Here comes another chance for East Islip. Mazzarone breaking ahead, stripped by Johnson in transition. Gets it back out to the other side, and that puck should be iced. Face off in the left dot. Walsh trying to win it out. Gets some help now. 3 minutes gone in the third. In a 1-1 game between these two teams. Mazzarone fired it down. Reyes will go chase for it. Reyes hit by Fowler. Taken by East Islip. Puck sent up. The Cougars will fly in transition. Constantinos looking over for Moringer. Stripped by Walsh. He'll dump in at the blue line. Sent across. Lazzarino with it again. Mazzarone with Fowler down low. Overskated the puck. And Middle Country will take it. Dumped in. Both sides will make some changes. Lazzarino. Almost turned it over. Caliendo. Arced it high, got it across the blue line. Lazzarino was there to greet the puck. Opportunity, good dance moves to the front of the net, a better save. Face-off will come in the left dot. Johnson against Walsh. Johnson trying to use the muscle. Connors comes in for a dangerous look. Connors with it again. Goes skate to stick. Loops it up the wall. Clark. Clark on the wrister. Blocked by Johnson. Another great play from number 21. Now trying to bully it away from Connors. Johnson will take it. Try to get it off to Dylan DiChiaro. Connors Looks like he had his mouth guard popped out, a save off the left leg for Graziano. Chance for Middle Country to clear. And we'll get a whistle. I don't know if we're going to get a tripping call on this or just an offsides. Face off, one back. Madison DeCiro. Bounce pass ahead. Moringer now with an opportunity. Has a man in the middle. Almost slid the pass over. Van Steen in on the blue line but called offsides. 9:38 remaining in the third. Lazzarino. Looking to get it over to Barbarito. Barbarito for Straub. Straub ahead. Across the blue line, Van Steen's shot. Stuffed up. Brian Graziano. Straub with it again, looking to get it over to Mazzarone. Van Steen. Not going to win out that puck battle. Once again, Middle Country have it. Gain the red line and dump in. They'll make some changes behind the play. Mazzarone. Lost it out to Johnson. Johnson, he'll take the space himself. He wants to rush. Johnson, a shot missed wide right. Reyes will skate back for it. No one will change out for Middle Country. And the puck will be sent down for an icing. Johnson. Tough battle on the boards. East Islip looking dangerous. Fowler gives it back to the blue line for a wrist shot. Hit off the post, but not in. Puck still alive. Fowler bringing this one across the blue. Stripped by Johnson. Johnson spinning around across the blue. Johnson taken away by Mathers. Put into the netting. Stays in play though. Continuation. Now the puck will be sent down for an icing, so we will have the face-off. Back to the center of the ice. Giametti. Taken out by Lazzarino. Liam Lazzarino on the rush. On sides. Lazzarino, a shot saved Graziano. Taken out now. Johnson steps around Straub. Hits it up. Conlon. He'll loop it around the wall. DeCiro. Covered up. Puck just went past Conlon. Still battling for it on the boards. Looped it in. Straub took it back. McCarthy hot on his trail. This is Mazzarone now. Chip and chase around Conlon. Mazzarone pulling it through another, then got hip checked off the puck. Bouncing around. Madison with it again. Looks for the outlet, finds Moringer. He'll collect it on the backhand and bring it ahead across McCarthy. Gain the blue line. Straub over to Connors. Connors right circle, a shot save by Graziano. Walsh on the face-off, taken by Connors, almost to the front of the net, uninterrupted. DiChiaro with a good interception. It's Dillon in front of Father. Dillon on the centering feed to the middle. Puck still loose, covered up now. Lazzarino has Connors at the blue line already. Now the puck is loose. Opportunity to skate onto it. Giametti will take it ahead. Dillon tried to cut back to the slot. Giametti, a good takeaway for a turnaround shot. Rebound in front of the net. Johnson on the second wave, couldn't find it. Out to Walsh now. He'll fly in transition. Reyes in front of him. Walsh puts on the brakes. Walks it around Johnson. Nope, got a piece of it on the back check. Fowler pushed into the boards, back over to Walsh, cuts it in front, feeds it over Connor. Connor off the outside of the net. Puck still down low. Fowler looking for the wraparound over to Connors. Spiked away by Johnson. Johnson with 5 minutes left. He'll just arc it all the way out. Puck slowing down. Azer will play it, gives it over to Lazzarino. Lazzarino to Connors again. Scanning off to his left side. Connors still skating with it. He'll curl, has Lazzarino at the point, fumbled the puck, and it's out across the blue line. Taken back in by Walsh. He gets hit into the boards. Play is still alive. Walsh from his knees able to spike it off the stick of Madison DiChiaro. DiChiaro now has an opportunity. It's a 2-on-1 developing over to Madison, but the pass too hard on her backhand. Johnson changes places with Moringer. He'll skate on the right side of the ring. Turnaround, first shot, it's tipped in! Johnson with magic. It's 2-1 Middle Country. Johnson with two bodies on him up top. He fires it at the net and it goes. DiChiaro will dump it down and it goes for an icing. Off the face-off, Middle Country. Back to a one-goal lead, the only goal scored this period. Straub across the blue line. Good hit, but Straub will stay with it. Looking to wrap on the net. Straub, such heart, feeds it over. Van Steen's shot got deflected down below the goal line. McCarthy taps it off, and it will be cleared out now by Giametti. Another icing committed by Middle Country. Johnson on the faceoff, trying to win it forward. Clark will hold the zone. Opportunity for Connors, a little shimmy shake. Poked off his stick, trying to take it back from Johnson. Connors has it, slides it across. Lazzarino just hopped his stick. Lazzarino to in front of him now. Backdoor for the feed. What a save from Graziano. Still alive as well, cleared out by Middle Country. And the Cougars continue to find magic. Put back in. Clark gives it over. Lazzarino. DeChiaro looking to get it ahead for Constantinos, helped out by Moringer, and now Middle Country can skate north. They'll dump it in, and the puck gloved out of the air and held up for a whistle. On the face-off, one back to Madison. DeChiaro plays it on net. Almost had his second from the near point. Zipped around the boards. DeChiaro with it again. She'll push it back over the corner. Conlon trying to hold it there. Clark digging it out. Poked away Walsh. Walsh against Dillon. Got the pass over to Connors. And his skate got it off to his right side. Madison DeChiaro slowing down the play, and she'll dump in again. Held alive for Barbarito. Fires it to the neutral zone. Back with Johnson now. Johnson to Madison. Dillon near her. Madison pushed into the boards. Opportunity for East Islip to take it. Dillon back to Madison. Couldn't get it past Barbarito. Giving a Faller with some room. Faller, a wrister miss high. DeChiaro pulls up, fires it, and Madison will get the clear. Race now for the puck. Conlon against Lazzarino. Liam will get there. Liam now burning. Beats past another one. Johnson trying to close the distance. And a great check for Johnson. Gets it ahead. Middle Country on the rush. Conlon wrestled down by Barbarito. Another great defensive play. Liam Lazzarino. Over to Faller. Faller at the blue line. Spikes it off to the corner. 60 seconds remain. It's an empty net on the other side. Six skater out there for East Islip. This is for all the marbles. A shot. Rebound tipped in the air. Hard hit into the end wall, and the puck will die out. And we'll take a quick timeout here on the LI Sports Network. Johnson will go off to the box for 2 minutes. East Islip onto the power play, trying to tie the game at 2 and force overtime. 47 seconds remain. A quick shot off the draw. That'll go behind the net. Opportunity for Barbarito to send it front. He's played it around the net instead. Liam Lazzarino holding it alive over to Straub. Straub at the near point. Back to Lazzarino. Lost it in his feet, and it's fired out of play. Back to the face-off. Straub wins it cleanly. Opportunity to rotate it around. Clark with their shot. Rebound! It's in the blue paint! Trying to fall on top of it. It's a mad scramble on the right post. Whistle dead. Middle Country still hanging on. And we'll get a timeout. .6 remaining. East Islip took an opportunity to talk it over. Their best player, Middle Country's best player in the box, Johnson, for roughing. So it's going to be a 6-on-4 to determine who gets into the semifinals. Puck is dropped. One out by East Islip. Long shot, still sitting free. Opportunity to clear. East Islip trying to hold on. 10 seconds left. They have an opportunity to clear it down. 5 seconds left, no icing. As the whistle will blow, there shouldn't have been an icing. Face-off will go to center ice. 4 seconds remain. Drop now. Middle Country trying to fall on top of it. That'll do! The beast is dropped! Middle Country, dig deep and find the win! And the Cougars will move on to the semifinals. An incredible season for East Islip that cannot be lost in translation. 18-0-2 in the regular season. didn't lose a single game, only 2 ties. They were dominant in most of their games. But Middle Country came to play playoff hockey today, and they find the 2-1 victory to move on to the semifinals. One more quarterfinal upcoming here on the South Rink. Southampton against St. Anthony's here on the LI Sports Network. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back.